Hello, I'm Paula Daniele from Crochet Hook, and today I'll show you how to crochet a flower for beginners, and this is what they look like. So you can use all different types of colours or just lots of the one colour, and I'm using Red Heart with Love today, and this is a medium category 4 yarn, and it's suggesting to use a 6.5mm crochet hook or a K 10.5, and this colour is Bluebell, which is this one here. Now, as you can see, I've got the 6.5mm hook. You'll also need your scissors and a yarn needle. These colours are also in the same brand. This one is Holly Berry and this one is Lettuce. But we'll be doing it in the Bluebell today. So take the label off and let's take out some yarn. We'll be using US stitches and terms today. So firstly, we need to make a slip knot. Wrapping the yarn around the forefinger, take it off, and then pop the working end of the yarn up through that loop, and then pull on the yarn end. And there's our slip knot. Place the hook in and pull on the working end of the yarn. And now we're ready to go. So we're going to chain 4. Make 4 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll slip stitch into the first chain stitch that we made, putting the hook under both loops and leaving one loop at the back there. Put the yarn end over through your fingers like that. Yarn over hook, and we're going to pull it through all 3 loops on the hook to create a slip stitch. And we've just formed our ring to work into. We'll be working over this yarn end as we go. Now how you do that is hold it at the back there like that. Those fingers. So you're holding it at the back there. There it is. So for round 1, chain 1, make 1 chain stitch. Then we'll do 6 single crochet stitches into the ring, working over this yarn end. And I'll show you. We want to make sure that yarn end is over the hook as we're putting the hook through the ring. for each stitch that we make into the ring. So there's our first single crochet stitch into the ring. Two, three, four, five, six, so now we're back to the start here where we did our chain one, and there's our first single crochet stitch, and you know it's your first single crochet stitch because there's two lines there with a V on the top. So placing your hook in under both of those loops, grabbing the working end of the yarn to make a slip stitch by pulling through all three loops. And we've joined the round. Now at this point I like to just pull up a little bit like that and take the hook out, because I like to get rid of this tail so it doesn't irritate us as we work. So just give it a little pull to tighten the center. Grab our yarn needle with a large eye. And we're just going to sew this yarn end in through the back of the stitches. See, here's the back of the stitches here. See, there's one single crochet, the back of one single crochet there. Pull that through and see how it tightens the center. So you only need to do that a few times. And then we need our scissors. And we're going to trim the yarn end off. Now we need our crochet hook again. Pop it back through the loop. Pull on that end, the working end. And now we're ready to start with round two. So we'll chain three. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do 2 double crochet stitches into the same stitch as the chain 3. And you'll be able to see if you pull that up, it's this one here. We're going into that here with 2 double crochet stitches. there's one. And if you want to know where you need to go with the second one, just pull that first stitch up. You'll be able to see clearly that's where I need to go into again. So do a second double crochet stitch, and now we'll chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we want to bring that down so it sits down like this one. So in order to do that, we need to bring it down like this, back into the same stitch, and do a slip stitch. And we've formed our first petal with a chain 3, 2 double crochets and another chain 3, and there's one petal, all worked into one stitch. So now we need to move over into this next stitch, and when you want to move over, you do a slip stitch. So a slip stitch into the next stitch to move over, and now we're going to work all the same as what we did here into this stitch. So make 3 chain stitches, chain 3, and as I said, if you can't see or you don't know where to go, pull that up and it'll show a great big hole there. You can't miss it. That's where you need to put your next 2 double crochet stitches. There's 1 double crochet stitch, two double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now back into the same stitch with a slip stitch to bring the chain 3 down. And there's the second petal. So a petal is created by a chain 3, 2 double crochet and another chain 3 brought down into the same stitch with a slip stitch. So we move into the next stitch by making a slip stitch. So each stitch is for the purpose of 1 petal. I'm just going to pull out some more yarn. You can do the same too if you like, if you need to. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3 chain stitches, do 1 double crochet into into the same stitch as the chain 3. And a second double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 3, make 3 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3. Then we're bringing the chain back down into the same stitch here by making a slip stitch. There's our third petal. Moving into the next stitch by making a slip stitch. And now we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet into the same stitch as the chain 3. And then we do a second double crochet into the same stitch. Then we chain 3, make 3 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, bringing the chain down into the same stitch here by making a slip stitch. There's the fourth petal. Move into the next stitch with a slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 double crochet into the same stitch, and a second double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then bringing the chain down back into the same stitch by doing a slip stitch. One, two, three, four, 5 petals now. Moving on to the next stitch with a slip stitch. Then we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we'll do a double crochet into the same stitch as the chain 3. There's one, and now we'll do a second double crochet stitch into that same stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to join back into the same stitch here with a slip stitch. That's the 6th petal and the last one. Now you'll see there's a join there. We're just going to move across and put a slip stitch in there, just to pull that petal down and across a bit more. So now we're ready to get our scissors. Just leave enough of a tail or yarn end so that we can sew into the back of the work. Cut your yarn. And finish off. Pull that tight. So we're finished with the yarn and the crochet hook. Now we need our yarn needle. So this is the right side of the flower, and this is the back side or the wrong side of the flower. With this yarn end, give the end a little twirl just to coax it into the eye of the needle a little easier, like that. Now we're just going to sew this yarn end with our needle back down through the back of the stitches here of the petal, and only down through the back of the stitches. We don't want to see it through the front here, so in the middle of the stitches. Then get your scissors and cut that off. And that's the end of the flower pattern. So that's what it looks like at the end. So I'll show you these other ones again. You can do them in all different colours or all in the one same colour. It's up to you. But that's how to crochet a flower for beginners.